Some crucial discussions continue in Manitouwadge between members of the volunteer fire department and the municipality. It all started earlier this month when the firefighters briefly walked off the job, but after several meetings and a speech during this week's open session of council, it appears things are returning to normal. Adam Riley has the latest.
Earlier this month, volunteer firefighters walked off the job, refusing to respond to calls, blaming the issues on a lack of communication between the town's CAO, its council, and the fire department itself. The sudden absence of service left the community of 2,000 relying on Marathon's fire department, located an hour away, to respond to any calls for service. Firefighters returned to the job 24 hours later, following assurances of meetings with town staff and council.
And we did have a very respectful meeting with them. We sat and they had a list of complaints that they wanted to talk about, and we asked them to provide that list to us in writing so that we could look at and maybe correct as many of them as possible before we had our next meeting.
However, McEachran says as of Tuesday, no list has been received by the township. The town then suggested an open meeting, which was turned down by the firefighters. One of the known communications issues was based on a lack of communication over the plan to hire a new fire chief. Following the retirement of Owen Cranny, Manitouwadge brought in Marathon Fire Chief Earl Gregg in an acting capacity until the search for a new fire chief ends, which McEachran says is almost complete.
We also have finished our evaluation of the people that applied for the job, and we're looking very much to pick a successful candidate and hopefully start that sometime, have him in here and working sometime in January.
Discussions over the situation continued this week at Wednesday's council meeting during a speech from Councillor Jim Moffat, who praised the efforts of several involved parties, called out social media users in the community, and announced a breakthrough with the firefighters.
It is quite unfortunate that some residents of our community have chosen to post criticisms and misinformation through the social media as a means of creating fear and hatred in our community. This is not what we are about. Council and staff have addressed the identified concerns of the fire department and agree to resolve the issues through policy changes and improved communication.
In his speech, Moffat noted 8 applications have been received by the township for the position of fire chief, 3 of which had virtual meetings and have been invited for an in-person meeting, where all members of the fire department would be able to meet with the potential chief. A spokesperson for the firefighters was unavailable for an interview, but in a statement called the latest developments a step in the right direction. Adam Riley, TBT News.